As a small biz pro, so we roll, using procurement, program, and control. As a small biz pro, so we grow, using procurement, program, and control. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Business Zone with Crystal and Gilbert. I am Crystal and Gilbert is out of town and will be back on the 8th. And I have a special co-host. My guest co-host is Miss Dawn Stroger.
Your bestie.
My
Tell
bestie. And she has been with me since Gilbert's been gone.
I don't even know if Gilbert's coming back.
You gonna tell Gilbert he can't come back?
No, he can't come back. I'm having too much fun.
I saw him on Monday. He said he'll be back. But then he's gonna go away and then he's gonna come back. And then when I go away, because I got some time
I'm taking over the show.
so you can pop in
yes.
For a couple more times and we'll just have you. Well, we're gonna have you anyway. Remember you were gonna do a 5-minute insert for us.
Yes.
So we'll have
One
you
day you're
around.
gonna have me with some clothes on so my husband can see me.
Yeah, but what do you do for a living?
I'm so tired of training. But that's what I do.
That's what you do, right?
So speaking of training, you were absolutely awesome this morning.
Thank you. Dawn has had me out here. Now, this started out as a challenge here on the air.
Yes.
And I'm not one to be outdone when it comes to challenges, so I had to rise to the occasion.
That's why I know her. I've known her for almost, how many years now?
Yeah,
quite a few.
So she knows that I'm a dancer. That's what I like to do. That's the exercise.
Zumba with me.
Yeah, that's how I found you, was through Zumba. And then after you moved on to greener pastures, I had to find another Zumba studio, so I did.
We said we weren't talking about them anymore.
We didn't give a name.
You don't have to mention them.
And then I got my salsa class and my burlesque class and all of that. But now Dawn has incorporated in some physical muscle
some real
training.
workout.
She called it the real workout.
The real workout. Dancing is great. I love Zumba. You know that. I'm a dancer. I love Zumba. I love all that sexy stuff. Drop it like it's hot.
Right.
There comes a point when you need to pick up some weight.
Okay,
right?
But I've been doing it for like 2 weeks now.
Oh, yeah. It's been great.
Yeah, it's been pretty cool. I'm not as sore as I was.
I'm proud
Let
of
me
you.
tell you, the very
now
first
the weight's going to come off.
Okay. Because the very first day, which was 2 weeks ago, I had to go teach in Pomona.
Right.
And I didn't come home and take a little nap after our session. And I'm driving to Pomona, and I'm like, oh, my God, I'm falling asleep. So
welcome to my world.
I kept trying to wake myself up, and I had to pull off, go get some coffee, and I never drink coffee, in order to get to Pomona so I could spend 4 hours straight teaching.
Yes.
But after that, I know to come home, take a nap, and then get up and get ready for.
Okay, you have the option to go home and take a nap after you work out.
Yes, I do.
Oh, that's right, because you're an entrepreneur. You work for yourself, and your work doesn't start till really like 10 or 11, right?
Right. I schedule my workout.
So then that means you can come a little earlier so you can do more cardio.
No, because that doesn't mean that. That doesn't mean that because I don't go to bed until 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning.
What time I go to bed?
Yeah, so I can't be getting up at 4 or 3 hours. That's only 3 hours of sleep.
You'll be all right.
Yeah, so I have to go. I'm a night owl.
So am I. I'm a night owl and I'm a morning person.
Oh, see, I'm not really a morning person. I'm a
both.
night ours.
I think I'm gonna miss something. I think I'm just nosy.
I think as I've gotten nosy, as I've gotten older, I think I've gotten a little bit better because it used to be when I worked for corporate America, and it could have been corporate America actually. Everybody knew in the office, do not talk to Crystal before 11 o'clock because she just didn't do the morning thing. So after 11, I was mellow enough for people to have conversations.
But you changed because you come in there ready to talk to me.
I know. I'm smiling and ready to pick up weights.
But I'm really proud of you. You've been doing well.
Thank you.
And I've extended the challenge until I'm no longer on your show.
And then you've kind of made that kind of indefinite, huh? You didn't think I picked up on that, huh?
So we're going to be working out for a while.
Oh, wow.
So you guys watch this transformation. She's going to look awesome.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. I mean, you're beautiful now. We're just going to enhance all this.
Yeah.
So you can get your husband because you're single too, right?
Uh-huh.
Lord Jesus.
Yeah, but I'm using it more so I can be better on the tennis court.
Okay. All right.
If he comes along, that's fine. But mine is for the purpose of the tennis court.
I'm looking for him.
You looking for him?
Yeah,
well, I know he gonna come along. You got some good stuff, and he gonna be seeing you all over the place soon. So he'll have no choice but to come get you.
I'm just joking. I don't need no husband. He'll be on my way. I can't get up as early.
I know. You can't do a whole lot of things that you do. In fact, you gotta cut short all your extracurricular activities.
Which isn't much. But I get it.
Unless you get him in the gym with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. But yeah, we have a good group in the morning. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have a good group. So how was your week?
How was my week?
Uh-huh.
Oh, great. My week is great. We can't talk about that right now until I'm done. My week is great. God is good.
Great. It was a short week this week. We had Memorial Day weekend, and which kind of threw me off on Tuesday, Wednesday, and I'm just now recovering, I think, because you get out of the mode.
What did you eat on Memorial Day?
You want me to tell you that?
Never mind.
I had salad.
Did you?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah, some lettuce and some green beans.
Did you?
Uh-huh.
Liar.
It's a chicken.
You're too happy.
It's a chicken.
Okay, fried chicken too, right?
No, it was barbecue chicken.
Oh, okay.
I got invited.
Barbecue sauce is nothing but sugar.
I know.
Nothing but sugar and barbecue.
But they didn't put the barbecue sauce on.
They didn't?
No, you put it on afterwards.
Oh, you put it on?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
Uh-huh. I had some ribs too. No barbecue sauce.
When you get on the scale tomorrow, they'll tell it all.
I know. So,
I'm expecting 4 pounds tomorrow, Crystal.
4 pounds?
Yes.
Okay. Well, we'll see how that goes. So it's been a busy week politically, business-wise. There's been a lot of stuff going on. All I know is we got to stay focused, and we got to help our small businesses stay in the limelight, in the forefront, and as opposed, because there's a lot of stuff going on in Los Angeles that they're being pushed back, the black-owned businesses, and some of them need a lot of assistance. So we're working on that.
And you're the person to do it with Recycling Black Dollars, right?
Yeah, Recycling Black Dollars, that's what we do. I had a great meeting yesterday with one of our to-be sponsors. So I'm excited about that. Some new places for RBD to go.
Right.
And so we're cool. That's really good. For those that don't know, Recycling Black Dollars, one, is a sponsor of this show, as well as the Department of General Services, and as well as Small Biz Pro, which is a product my co-host Gilbert has, and is an amazing product. But Recycling Black Dollars is an organization that's been in our community for the last 30 years, and its purpose is to make sure we as black people are recycling our dollars and keeping our dollars circulating in our community. Well, we're 30 years into this, and so now we're really more the consciousness, and I'm really a very blunt conscious, because we're at a place where we are supposed to be taking care of our own.
Yes.
Every other nationality out there takes care of their own, and we kind of skirt around it and pretend like, we have to be include everyone, but my mother used to say, goodness starts at home.
Right. Yes.
You take care of the family first, and then you move out and bring everybody else in. So Recycling Black Dollars, we do it through marketing, we do it through highlighting businesses, and as well as the show was the BusinessZone.
And entrepreneurs, And that's what I like about, since you've taken over it, Recycling Back Dollars, that's what I've noticed a change in what you're doing in terms of not just businesses, but also the workshops and things that you're doing.
Yeah, I do a lot of workshops. But one of the things I found when I first got involved was the fact that a lot of our black businesses don't have all of the tools that they need and the knowledge. And we assume because we know that they know, they do not know.
Right.
And so that's kind of where my skill set came as a benefit to RBD, is to make sure that we're having programs and getting them to other places. We're not the only one.
Right.
We have a guest today, Candace Anderson. She's with Pacific Coast Regional Center.
Right.
They also offer that. This is offered throughout the city, and it's interesting. Last week I spoke at she has proclaimed herself to be the what does she call herself? The mayor of South Central, Dr. Rosie Milligan.
Yes.
And so she asked me to come and speak to the group. She had a town hall meeting last week, and I was telling them about all the classes that is all over the city, and they're like, we never hear about them. Like, oh, where are you guys?
Yes.
Because it's impossible not to hear about every one of us are doing classes.
Right.
But I do know that I've had classes, and no fee, and I know PCR, they don't charge, and Vermont Slauson, they don't charge, and we can't even corral the people. We might get 10, 15, 20 people in a classroom, and it's ridiculous.
Yes.
It's ridiculous. They'll come out, initially they'll come out for the informational seminar. I did a minority certification training class a couple weeks ago.
The one that I missed that you didn't tell me about?
The one that you missed.
But when's the next one?
The next one's going to be in August.
Okay.
And so we had about 70 people come out to inquire.
But they pay for that.
But this one they had to pay for, right.
And usually when you put a price tag on it, people are more serious about it. They come and they think they value the information differently. Right.
So this is a different level of information. The generic information, it was the information that you can really just Google off.
Right.
But to bring Gilbert out, who this is his specialty, and he's giving of his time and giving you the tips and the resources and introducing you to people that can make it happen. Yeah, you have to have some skin in the game on that one.
Yes.
And so we literally got about 15 people in the class after we said it was going to cost us some money, or cost them some money. But we even made that simple. We're like, okay, pay us in 3 easy installments. I mean, come on, you can't give them everything.
Yeah.
So that's the way it is. But we will not stop.
Why you get to have your microphone down there and mine got to be all up in my face like that?
I don't know.
Because you're the queen? Because it's your show?
Maybe.
It's okay.
Okay, so Monday, your show, then it'll be all up in your face.
Oh, my show Monday?
So tell us about your show.
My show is called Build the Body You Want. Where we talk to everyday, average, ordinary people who are making extraordinary transformations. And we find out their secrets. That's my show on Monday that you will be on this coming Monday.
Yeah, so you're good on your show.
Thank you. I'm trying to be good on your show, but I'm trying to remind myself it's your show.
Well, but we love you as a guest. We have you guest. So we got a guest here who's got to go catch a plane. So we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to bring him on.
All right. Let's bring him on.
Okay.
Are we gonna get a fourth chair?
Hello. Meet Larry. Larry is a general contractor. Larry is very good at his craft, but Larry has a very tough time managing his paperwork because he is busy taking care of his clients' needs. Larry just cannot find his important business documents when needed. Larry is also being passed over for bid opportunities from prime contractors because he is perceived as not ready. He doesn't know where his business license, certifications, insurance, and other key corporate documents are located most of the time. Lucy owns an auto body and collision repair shop and has been using a business management and procurement assistance program called Small Biz Pro to keep her business organized, business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. Small Biz Pro is a 3-in-1 cloud-based business management, procurement, and market research assistance system designed to help businesses become business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. It also provides back-office operation solutions for small businesses. Lucy is able to stay ahead of her competitors because she uses Small Biz Pro to manage her business daily. Lucy just clicks on Small Biz Pro from her tablet, mobile phone, laptop, or any internet-accessible device for data retrieval, and she's got it. Lucy introduces Larry to Small Biz Pro, and now Larry is more organized and can now find all of his documents and new bid opportunities in seconds. Larry now saves $120 in labor costs for each missing or misplaced document. Just simply go to your web browser and log into smallbizpro.net and register today for a limited 30-day free trial offer. Services start as low as $1 per day. Let's put the competition out of business. Small Biz Pro. If you stay ready, you don't need to get ready. Register now at smallbizpro.net and begin saving money. Email info@smallbizpro.net or call 626-533-1186.
Each year, the state of California contracts for billions of dollars of goods and services. We as a state can and should leverage our spending power to achieve policy goals that help the people of California. One major policy goal we have is to create jobs and grow our state economy. Promoting the development of small businesses within California is a great way for us to do that, because California small businesses are the engine of economic growth. 95% of companies in California are small businesses. And with the right opportunities, these small businesses can grow to become the next Apple, Netflix, or Tesla. So let's all do our part to promote small business development and grow our state economy. Together, we can really make it.
Hello, meet Larry. Larry is a general contractor. Larry is very good at his craft, but Larry has a very tough time managing his paperwork because he is busy taking care of his clients' needs. Larry just cannot find his important business documents when needed. Larry is also being passed over for bid opportunities from prime contractors because he is perceived as not ready. He doesn't know where his business license, certifications, insurance, and other key corporate documents are located most of the time. Lucy owns an auto body and collision repair shop and has been using a business management and procurement assistance program called Small Biz Pro to keep her business organized, business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. Small Biz Pro is a 3-in-1 cloud-based business management, procurement, and market research assistance system designed to help businesses become business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. It also provides back-office operation solutions for small businesses. Lucy is able to stay ahead of her competitors because she uses Small Biz Pro to manage her business daily. Lucy just clicks on Small Biz Pro from her tablet, mobile phone, laptop, or any internet-accessible device for data retrieval, and she's got it. Lucy introduces Larry to Small Biz Pro, and now Larry is more organized and can now find all of his documents and new bid opportunities in seconds. Larry now saves $120 in labor costs for each missing or misplaced document. Just simply go to your web browser and log into smallbizpro.net and register today for a limited 30-day free trial offer. Services start as low as $1 per day. Let's put the competition out of business. Small Biz Pro. If you stay ready, you don't need to get ready. Register now at smallbizpro.net and begin saving money. Email info@smallbizpro.net or call 626-533-1186.
And we are back with Crystal on the Business Zone with
And
Crystal
Don
and Gilbert.
Strozier.
And Don Strozier.
Can we do that over?
Yeah, okay.
Gilbert's not here. They already know about Gilbert. Let's just do the Don and Crystal.
They already know about Gilbert.
No, we love
the Business Zone with Crystal and Don.
Yes. It's only fair.
Okay. Forgive her, Gilbert.
Gilbert, you can never be replaced. All the information that you add to the show, my friend, you're out helping the show make money. You're out making people aware of what the show offers. Come on, we're just having fun. But until you get back, it's Dawn and Crystal. Crystal and Dawn.
Crystal and Dawn. So you are back. We are back. We went away for a quick little break. So now I want to introduce our guest. And we are quite honored. And this is because my bestie over here is always thinking about me. Yeah. So this gentleman hails in from Atlanta, Georgia.
Yes, ma'am.
And he's doing some major stuff on the southeast coast. And his name is David Sands.
Shans.
That's a different name. And he is an author. He's a fashion and inspirational leader. He's gone from employee to employer. David worked in various customer-oriented industries by day while building his own apparel business by night. He coined the phrase, sleep is for suckers, starting out with wristbands and a unique story, later evolving into a clothing line and a way of life, a specialist in motivational speaking and mindset tailoring. David works to inspire, uplift many with his brand title, If You Lose Sleep Doing What You Love, You Will Eventually Live the Dream That You Only would have dreamt. In a few short years, the sleep is for sucker concept has evolved from selling T-shirts out of the back of the seat of his car to selling his message on apparel across the globe. He lives by his code, Sleep is for Suckers motto, and has an entrepreneurial spirit that continues to garner recognition from his peers and others from all walks of life. Welcome, David. Glad to have you. So sleep is for suckers, huh?
Real,
and you wonder why I'm never sleeping.
Well, I don't sleep either, so I guess.
Like the bio said it all. I can leave. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I don't got nothing else to talk about.
So what inspired you? What has inspired you to become an inspirational speaker?
I got around inspirational speakers.
Yes.
And really one day, I built my clothing brand. I was working at the Cheesecake Factory, built my clothing brand to where I could quit my job and I could sustain my income.
Okay.
And I opened a kiosk in the mall, and maybe like a year in, my friend said, hey, come to this school. Let's do a career day. And I said, well, what would I talk about? I don't know. And he said, well, I don't know. Let's figure it out. So we went to the school, and I just had the time of my life to be able to see a child kind of with his arms folded, and then you keep talking, and then they lower their arms a little bit, and then they keep talking, and then they lean in, and then you keep talking, and like they're almost in tears at a point.
Yes.
And to see that, I said, I found my calling.
All right, that's fantastic.
Hey, what's interesting, I had a chance to see that firsthand.
Did you?
I followed him maybe a few months ago to a school downtown. What was the name of the school?
I don't know.
Okay, but it was a magnet school, wasn't it?
Yes.
And to see these kids look at him like a deer in headlights, and when he asked questions, everyone raised their hand. They were so engaged in the information he was giving.
It's
interesting.
It was
awesome.
Because our children, in today's educational system, they're learning by route. So by you coming in and giving them this new way of thinking and new opportunities that are out there, I do the same thing. We teach kids on how to become entrepreneurs, but I think I had a rewarding experience. I went to Dorsey High and spoke with some kids, and I did an 11-week program. When I first got there, it's like, okay, these are not like my biz kids, because we kind of handpicked those kids. These kids are pretty raw, and at first my co-partner, my partner said, maybe we don't want to do this. I said, oh, no, we want to do this. But those kids are not even touched. And so everything is just kind of thrown at them, but they don't really engage. So when someone like you come out, or myself, or anyone that's talking to kids or meeting kids on their level and telling them that there's a better world out there, that's an awesome experience.
Yeah, absolutely. And the experience is amazing. But I don't think that experience necessarily lasts. So I love to go talk to the kids, but I also love talking to the teachers because they'll feel a certain way when I'm there. But, I mean, the information's lost because life hits them as soon as they walk out the doors. And we need somebody to sustain that fire, right? So I did a staff training yesterday at a school, and I asked the teachers, what is your vision? We're not talking about the kids right now, but what is your vision? Because on the outside, these gang members are giving these kids a vision.
Right.
You see that card? You can have that. Those girls,
right,
you can
exactly.
have that. The money, you can have
that money from the drug sale.
Oh, for sure.
You can have all of that.
That lifestyle, and they'll paint this elaborate picture, but then you come to school with a teacher and they say, hey, you shouldn't be involved in gangs. Okay, why? Where's my picture?
Right. But they're not giving them anything.
Oh, yeah. But more importantly, like a vision. Like, what does it look like to do what you're telling me to do? So obviously, the teachers, if they don't have a vision for themselves, they're not going to paint a picture for the students, right?
No.
So I encourage all teachers to start something, build something, let the kids see what you're doing outside of work. But if you're not doing anything, why would they listen to you?
Exactly. And actually, if you think back, the teacher that you remember most from your school years is the one that they were pretty, innovative. They had, when they went away for summer break, they came back with these fantastic stories. They traveled all over the world.
I remember my teacher's
and you
name.
remember those teachers, right?
Absolutely. Miss Hall, Miss Powell.
Right,
They planted seeds in me that are growing today.
Right.
Some things. I was failing English, and she started talking to me about the dreams and the things I wanted to accomplish. I left that English class with an A, but Miss Hall made an impact.
Right.
Absolutely.
And that's why it's important for a teacher to make that impact. So when they're in their 50s, they can go back, oh, yeah, I remember Miss Hall, right? Or I can think of 3 teachers, and I can even see their face today that made an impact on who I am and what I got from them when I was in school.
And do you know what Miss Hall was doing? She had a poetry teaching class. That's what she was doing outside of school. I remember that. And that was exciting. She was a teacher, but she had some other things going on.
Yeah, because she looked.
So she also dreamed past her job.
Yeah, so that's cool.
Absolutely.
So you've written a book.
Yes.
So tell us about that.
Oh, absolutely. It's called Dreams Are Built Overnight. And, some people are shocked by it, like dreams aren't built overnight. You can't have it overnight. However, what I did was I worked all day on my job and all night on my dream in terms of from the hours of like 11 o'clock to 2:30 in the morning, that's when I built this dream brick by brick. It wasn't during the day, but it was at night. So if you're putting a model car together from midnight to 2 in the morning every day, you start building it every day, a little bit of piece, like put the wheels here. Then the next night you put the doors on, you start painting it tonight. The car will be built overnight, right? So that's the only time I had. And some of us, we have our jobs, we got our kids, and we can't really grind until the kids go to sleep, until we're off work, until we're done dinner, things of that nature. So that was the window in which I built.
And also that there are no excuses, right?
Oh,
because you worked just as hard, I'm sure, if you worked at the Cheesecake Factory, so you were on your feet all day dealing with customers, and then you had to go home and put on your creative hat, right?
I had a bunch of excuses. I just didn't use any of them. We all got a whole bunch of them we can use. I give you a long list of excuses.
Yes.
I got them all.
You got them all.
He doesn't use any of them.
Yeah.
So your clothing line, is it in stores or?
Yeah, so it's called Sleep is for Suckers. We sell online. I had a store in the mall for 5 years. I literally just let it go last month because I'm doing more traveling and I'm more on the entrepreneurial side of things, because I built a business and I started teaching people how to build a business and watching their businesses be built. It's insane. I have this phrase that you're not a leader until you create one. And I feel like I'm not a true entrepreneur. I don't think I have the true formula until I can give it to somebody and they build it and say, whoa, that works for me.
Yeah,
so once I started seeing that, I'm like,
because now you've duplicated yourself, right?
Well, you've definitely duplicated yourself with me, because I have not slept in the past few days. I actually, I work during the day, and then I go into this place at 6 at night. It's called The Collective, and they're open 24 hours. I go in there and I do my work. So I left there at 4 this morning and went straight to teach my class. That's been the last few days for me, because I'm building something big that we talked about.
Yes, ma'am.
I just finished 30 videos.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
I did.
She's getting ready to take it up to a whole nother level.
Yes, God is good.
Yeah. Y'all know what is exciting
tired,
too?
but he's
I saw
good.
these stats. 6% of entrepreneurs have a business that is their main source of income.
Yeah.
So if you are an entrepreneur out there, you are a part of the 6%. 6% of people have an idea, build something, and can live off. That's the main source of their income, off something that they built. So congratulations to the 6%.
That's us.
Yeah, well, I actually became an entrepreneur 30 years ago.
Wow.
I kind of told my age, but I left corporate America. I went to college, came out, did not do anything in the degree that I received.
That's everybody I know.
And then I was like, wait a minute, but I'm a third generation entrepreneur. So I knew, even going into corporate America, that there was an end game for me. And so I used that for my master's program, watching and seeing how the different, and my core skill set is accounting and bookkeeping. So that's what I went to school for. And so I knew I could take those skills and start my business. And then I created it there. And then I moved, kind of grew into a business coach from there, and trainer and all that sort of stuff. But my whole family, we're all entrepreneurs. I love it. So I'm going to ask this question of you. Who was the entrepreneur in your family?
My dad was an entrepreneur. He never did really, really well at making money. But it's so funny. I was, when I was a kid, me and my brother was a kid, my dad, he would always invite these people to the house. He had like this whiteboard, and he would tell us to go upstairs and don't make a sound. Do not make any noise. And I was like, well, first off, why you have all these people coming to the house, and why can't I make noise in my own room? I thought I was grown, like it's my room, as if I paid rent. But I grew up, and I kind of just thought it was weird my whole life watching that. And I grew up, and I was babysitting my cousins one day, and I was in network marketing, right?
Okay.
So I had like a home meeting where I invited all these people to the house, and I remember telling my cousins, go upstairs, don't make a sound. I said, oh, shoot. And that's what I called my dad. I just realized you were in network marketing, wasn't you? And he explained to me. I said, that's funny. But my dad, he taught me so much as a kid. He would never, ever, and I thought he was mean growing up, because I would ask him a question, and he'd never give me the answer.
So
he never just give me the answer. Right. He'll lead me. He'll ask me a bunch of questions from my question. And then I learned in school, you should never answer a question with a question. I was like, Dad, that's rude. But he always answered my questions with a question that made me answer it. And finally, I say, oh, that's the answer. And he just looked at me like this. But I thought he was mean.
Right.
But he was wanting you to use your own brain to find the solution or the answer to the question that you were asking. Because he was already kind of implanting the entrepreneurial seed. Because you got to go find your own stuff.
Oh, for sure.
When I became an entrepreneur, everybody I knew worked for someone. There, I was a lone ranger out there, nobody. And they're looking at me, you leaving a good job to go out on your own? I said, I can't stay here. Right. In fact, Les Brown was the only way I got to the company because I listened to him from the moment I walked out my door to the moment I got to the job. I even at lunchtime, I was listening to Les.
So did I.
And then I came back home, and then I go home. It's like, okay, now I got to go back to that place. Right. So I already knew that at some point there was like I said, an end game for me there. But it was just a lonely road because nobody knew how to do it. and I had to kind of
lonely because most of my friends look at me like I'm crazy. You still doing that?
I know. Yeah.
They don't understand.
No, they don't. And I have more friends now and more people that are around me that are entrepreneurs. So now but there's the conference that I go to. I don't know if you've heard of Dr. George Fraser.
Yes.
Okay.
Of course.
So have you been to the Power Network conference?
I haven't.
Oh my God. You want to go where everybody's speaking the Wakanda language? Then you need to go to the Power Network because you walk in here, you're like, oh my God, these are my people. Where you been, people from all over the country. And it's just an awesome experience.
Wow.
And you come out and all these people are collaborating with you, but we're all talking business and we're all talking success and we're all talking how to take our businesses to the next level. You really do need to get there because he's got some powerful speakers. And once you become a George Fraser speaker, the whole everything just opens up. It's like the Holy Grail opens up for you.
I think the Holy Grail has already opened up for you.
Yeah, but because you work with kids, he actually has a program. So when the adults are doing the Power Networking Conference, the kids have their own conference there. And so they raise money and the kids come free. For every paid adult, a child gets to come free. Nice. So they use all their trainers that are in the youth space, and they use him. So you want to give him a call. He's very personable. Just reach out to George Fraser.
I'm on it. George, hit me. Let's talk. You're listening, George. Let's talk.
So one of the things you said that was very interesting was, and this is probably from your father, because if he was in network marketing, the two things that happen in network marketing is they give you some of the best experience and training in any. I mean, you can't even work for someone to get that kind of training, right? Because you're actually selling something that's not really tangible.
Selling a dream.
You're selling a dream, right? But they duplicate the people. So they create a franchise kind of methodology, and that's how real estate is sold as well. Everybody's doing the same thing, selling the same thing. So that's the ultimate in creating a business is can your business be duplicable? And that's what you were saying.
Yeah, absolutely.
So then you can transfer, and then that person can go off and create their own business.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Right. Share with her one of the ways in which you're duplicating yourself through your calls, your conference calls. I'm going to call with you on Sunday night and then again on Thursday nights. Tell us about your calls that you do.
So we have a coaching program called Sleepless Nights. It's just a group of people who are just amazing individuals, all of us going towards the same direction. And I think that's one of the keys to success. You got to get in an environment where everybody's moving in the same direction. Right. So as our program started to grow, actually I reached out to Life, who's in the group, who's one of the most amazing speakers that I ever met. And, he's a powerful speaker. But I was like, man, can you teach people how to do what you do? So now he has his own call on the platform where he's teaching. And the teaching isn't for the other people in the group. It's for him. He gets a chance to teach and really hone in and go into his craft. And I've seen his ability go from zero, or he was never at zero, from 1,000. He was never at zero.
Not at all.
But it's so night and day, and he's so versatile. I've never seen some speakers are motivational, like masters at motivation.
Right.
Some speakers are amazing teachers. I very rarely see a strong blend of the two.
Right.
Exactly.
And when I met Life, he was a powerful speaker, but now he's one of the best trainers, and I believe he's going to be the best speaker on earth.
No doubt.
Wow.
So any platform I'm on, I let him open for me because I know I'm going to have to open for him one day. I got the mic right now, but I know I'm going to have to open for him one day.
And that's your Thursday night call, right? That's on that call as well.
He does. Well, it just went to Tuesday.
Okay.
So he does the speakers training on Tuesday. Oh, okay. But I think just every school we went to. First off, Ray Keffer, his foundation brought us all together. He said, I don't care what you do, I don't care what school you go to, but I'm gonna bring you out here, set up some schools. set up some schools to talk to, and we're just going to do it. So he set that up, but every school we go to, everybody gets to speak. And I think that's important.
Wow.
Everybody gets a chance to shine. Everybody gets footage. Everybody gets to put out the content.
That's
it's
fantastic.
not just about me.
So when you're you're going into these schools, so basically what's the format of your program?
I think we have a very special gift of deciding what the format is there when we get there. Because you can't talk to... So one of the teachers that we went to yesterday, she said, we put the worst kids in this room. She said, we intentionally found the ones that flip over the tables and cuss out the teachers. You can't go with the same format with them as you do some people on the other side of town.
Yeah.
For sure.
And then you get a feel for them, and then you guys just have open up your bag of tricks and use whatever works.
Especially when it comes to kids. As speakers, you learn to send over a piece of paper to ask the qualifying questions, and you're able to create your message for them before you get there. But when it comes to kids,
and you got to look at down to the room. We're in a gym. Sometimes you can line up the chairs, but sometimes that doesn't work in certain environments. So we set it in like a semicircle, and then we talk. So it kind of depends on the school, and I think once you do that over and over and over and over again, you can get there, assess the situation, say, okay, this is how we're going to run it. This who needs to open. This is how we need to split them up or whatever. So.
And what's the feedback from the kids when you guys finish?
Oh man, it's when you go to the toughest schools and you can see like a single tear drop down the hardest person in the room's eyes. It's complete silence. It's not like you go somewhere where the kids are talking to each other. When we go into a school, it's complete silence. Complete.
I had when I did the program when I went over to Dorsey, these were some rough kids. I tell you, they were definitely rough, and some of them were foster care, and they just like hardcore. And so their teacher, running this man ragged. He was a young guy in his 20s, and he's telling me, here's some candy. If you want to give them candy, it's like they're ninth grade. Why the heck would I get no candy? And so I laid down the law, and they, all kinds of names are being called across the room. They're cursing. They're going on. So that was the first day I was there. Second day, I was like, okay, let me tell you how this is going to roll. You are not going to speak any language that you would not speak in front of your preacher or your pastor or your priest. And your grandmama. That's the only thing you doing here with us in here. I don't care what happens when I leave, but this is how we roll in right about now. And so they're like, oh. And then some were real hard. So I have one of my mentees. He went to prison for 15 years. And he calls himself a mixologist. And so when he came out, he went in, there was pagers. When he came out, there were iPhones. And his baby girl was a baby, and now she was finishing up her bachelor's, and she was in her 4th year of college. And so I told him, I said, Kevin, I need you to come talk to these kids. But you can't use the language because I've already put the parameters for that, and we don't want them to backslide. So, but you give it to them hardcore. You give it to them that prison is no picnic, and you let them know exactly what you went in for. So, and what's amazing about Kevin is he came out of prison 15 years with his general leaf, whatever that is, $235, right? He had a business plan. And he started using his skills that he used when he was mixologing. And he now has this amazing shea butter product. And he sells it. He bottled it. He packaged it. So he's been in business now for the last 5-6 years. And he was living off the county. He had no car. He was taking the bus everywhere. 5 years later, he bought a nice car. He has a nice home. He's creating this business for his child because he wasn't there when she was growing up. When he walked away, so when I asked the kids at the end, I was like, so who was the speaker that you liked the best? Mr. Kevin. Because he spoke to them in the language that they needed to hear and that they understood, and he also gave them the hardcore side of it. That's not a vacation like people make you think it is. 3 squares and a bot.
In your group, who does that part? Who scares them?
I don't think anybody scares them. We hit them from so many different angles.
Really?
And when I came out here, I wanted to pack the schools back to back. Like we leave one, at 1 o'clock and get to the next one at 1:30, but that's never ever possible.
Yeah, because you spend too much time.
No, because the kids won't let us leave.
Oh,
Really?
When the bell rings at 2 o'clock and they hang around for another 20 minutes and don't want to leave, the principal was in awe yesterday. Yeah.
Wow.
Like normally they got to leave at 2 o'clock, and the administrators had to grab the kids like, no, they got to leave.
They've got to go.
And it's not just one person, right? So Ray has his own story, Justin has his own story, Life has his own story. Like, and we have so many different speakers. It's just.
But that's what our kids need, right?
Yeah.
They need to hear it, and our male children need to hear it from other males that are successful, and they need to see that you care.
Yeah.
You're giving of your time to come, because you don't have to.
Yeah,
Right.
no.
You could be out there making some other money, big money, man. But we're coming to give to them, so that's phenomenal.
And it pays off in the end.
Oh, for
So
sure.
how many is in the group? Is it?
Oh, we have about 100 now in our coaching program, but depending on the city that we go to, I just have a good network of people in the city, or my network has a network of people. So if I go to Iowa, I don't know anybody in Iowa, but I'm sure I know somebody, and I know somebody that knows somebody in Iowa.
Too.
And we put out so much content. Like, I mean, now it's 2018. You could put out content and literally touch the world.
Right, exactly. So do the kids follow you on Instagram and
absolutely.
and whatever?
Yeah,
and now your calls, the weekly calls, that's for adult entrepreneurs, or can the kids call in as well? Or
adult entrepreneurs. We're working on a program for kids. We had one. But we're trying to structure it and make sure it's right. But this one's for adults.
Okay.
You talked about what Life does, but you didn't talk about what you do on those calls, because you give some incredible information as well. Those are teaching moments for us. Yeah. We learn a whole lot from you. You have amazing people on the call that we learn from. You recently had a guy on the call, the gentleman that has the what do you call it? Payroll company.
Oh, Wesley Owens. Yeah,
Wesley Owens. Amazing story.
Yeah.
He gave some information about being accredited, some of the stuff that you teach.
Yeah. Amazing. So on Sunday, so first off, every month we have a different theme. So this month the theme is networking, actually. So every month we have a different theme, and my philosophy is if we just talk general entrepreneurship stuff, you'll grow some, but if we have a different focus every single month, you'll grow in 12 different targeted areas every single year. So we have a different theme
if it's marketing, if it's e-commerce,
every call that month is
every
about
aspect of being in business.
Yes.
Yeah, because one of the biggest problems, challenges, I would say, in Black-owned businesses or African-American-owned businesses, they never have set aside any money for marketing. Mm-hmm. And so the businesses are based upon people walking in to their business, and they don't even, there are so many free ways to advertise now, but because they haven't really, and this is the second challenge, is they really haven't embraced social media as they should, because it's an incredible tool. Because just last week, I think one of our shows, the shows that the Mackeys were, and we talked about Egypt, that I reached about 50, I think it hit 30,000 people last week. Wow. I broaden minds because I think internationally there's a core of our listeners that are in Africa, and they're young. They're like just coming out of college, and so we get a lot of feedback. So I really cover all of the.
And he taught a class on that. He taught a class on saying if you're not seriously learning how to do Facebook ads, remember?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
You're not doing business.
Well, I have to get in on this call.
He gives so much information. I had to take a break so I could start applying some of the stuff. I was like, okay, let me take a break really quick and start working. Because he was calling me like, Don, what you got? What you got? And I didn't have anything for a minute. And I had some old stuff, and I didn't want to send him my old stuff. So I was like, let me go get busy. This guy. And you do pay for the call, but I have to say that, and it's nothing. It's very minimal. The amount you pay for the call, you can't get this information anywhere else.
That's fantastic.
You can't get the kind of people he has on the call. Professionals in the industry that are doing amazing things. You can't. I can't build those relationships without you.
That's awesome. That should make you feel good. So we got about 10 minutes. We want to bring Life up.
Yes.
I know he's over there photographing and being the cameraman.
So let me tell you, I was on a call with David, and I heard this voice talking, and then they said he's teaching the speakers call. It was on Thursdays at the time, because I've been off for about a month. And I got on the call, and I was completely blown away because Les Brown is one of my closest friends. I talk to him on the phone all the time. I was trained by Dan Lear, which is Anthony Robbins' trainer for his coaches. But this guy knew all the secrets. He knew everything. I said,
all the secrets.
He knows, and he's phenomenal. He's absolutely phenomenal. Whole lot of energy. And
So
God's truly giving him a gift.
Look at him. Come on in and have a seat.
Hey, look, as a
We
speaker,
don't even need a bio.
as
You
a
got a
speaker-
fan club.
as a speaker, I am really critical of speakers. Like,
Yes.
you know, like you're a speaker. You don't really like speakers like that.
Right.
Every time I hear life, it's just, it's a complete treat.
And
every time.
they have two different styles that complement each other. He's like the quiet storm, and he comes and hits you over the head. It's amazing.
So welcome.
Well, thank you.
Boy, that's a big follow-up, man.
Yes,
he's
it did.
all
Yes,
right.
it did. I'm looking around for the person they're talking about. Like, who is that? Feel like the kid that went from the kids' table to the big table in the house. This is great.
So how did you get this moniker as the life, first of all?
In my regular conversations with people, I come from a rough town, similar to just about everybody's town in this generation.
Okay.
I come from a space where you're always greeted with life and death, to be honest.
Oh.
So I'm from a spot. I was in the Marine Corps 21 years.
Okay.
I know more people murdered in my town than I know any person I've known in the Marine Corps killed.
Really?
So we come from a war zone. So when I'm standing in those positions and I have the opportunity to say, we can go left or go right, I'm always saying, well, let's look at, well, how is this going to affect us in the long run? We can do that, but
Wow.
how much is it really worth for us?
So where did you grow up?
Conway, South Carolina.
Oh, wow. There's more people killed in there than...
You know,
Is it from gang violence or...
we don't have gangs. You're from this side of town. The worst part is the town is so small, you're beefing and shooting at people that you call their mother's auntie. You slept in the bed with them, did backflips on beat-up mattresses with them. And these are the people that today we're cool, tomorrow you're dead.
Wow.
So it's a different dichotomy than
Yeah,
it's a
that
million
is.
of us in the city.
Wow.
So you don't even know
because
how
you
to
grew
mourn
up
when it
there. I mean,
happens.
you're like family if you grew up and if the town is that small.
Yes, ma'am. So the politics starts becoming very different.
Wow.
So when I speak, it's one of those things.
So
that
you're coming
it's
from
life
the
and
heart.
death on
Yeah.
you. Yes, ma'am.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, you definitely
That's
would
where
have a
passion
story for
comes
a
from.
child.
Say again?
You definitely would have a message for a child.
The reason I do this is because I didn't have, my mother put me out in the 7th grade, sent to live with my grandmother who was 75 at the time. And then I had a mentor that came in and he had this weird, you ever seen Lean On Me? My mentor was like Joe Clark. Like he literally put me in front of the school and was like, listen, this is what you will not look like.
Oh,
if he didn't brush his hair, he didn't wash his face. He didn't wash his face, he didn't brush his teeth. If he didn't brush his teeth, he didn't wash his hind parts. And he ain't say hind parts.
Yeah.
My whole life, this guy's pushing me. Never told me I did good. I retired in the Marine Corps, and I'm spazzing like, you gonna tell me I was the greatest. And then what he said to me was, what he broke down to me was this. And he says, sit down, son. I said, I don't want to sit down. He said, sit down. So I sit down, and he says, you've always been the best. You've been the best since the first day you walked through the door. You've always been the best. The thing is, you wasn't scared of the streets. I had to challenge you different to put you in a position to always have something to chase. When I retired to Marine Corps, they wanted me to go work on airplanes for $30 an hour. But every day for the rest of my life, I've decided to give him a return on his investment and take care of this village. So life is not just a name, it's a reminder how easy it is to slip into death where we come from.
Wow.
Okay.
So how did you meet?
Told you, I tried to tell you. Y'all asked for this.
My God.
Wow.
How did you meet David? How did you guys cross paths?
Look, divine intervention.
I know God is at work, no
Yes,
doubt.
indeed. So walking through the mall in Atlanta, I'm in Atlanta speaking at a college, and I'm walking through the mall. He is the master salesman. Look, he's not going to blow us off. Yesterday we're in a mall. There's other people at the kiosk that we don't know. He stops at their kiosk. The lady's walking by. He sells them a shirt. Their shirt to this lady who says, I already got 3 or 4 of those shirts. I don't want those shirts. He's like, no, you're going to get... David sells this lady another shirt.
I believe it.
Ultimate hustler. So I'm walking through the mall. I'm in Atlanta. I just got finished speaking. David hits me with this. Hey, what do you do? I was like, what do I do? So I go into telling him I do motivational speaking, and he picks my brains, which I'm thinking these are the best answers in the world.
Right.
Now I know he's probably looking like he don't know it all. But we sat right then in that moment and built a rapport. We talked for a while. The next time I came to Atlanta to speak, we spoke again. The third time we were in Chattanooga doing the Black Wall Street tour.
Fantastic.
And it's been
wow.
since then.
Well,
Yes.
that's, when God wants people to come together, he uses his messengers, doesn't he? He does. I have someone that I'm going to introduce to both of you guys. I'll have to get your contact information. It's a good friend of mine. He just wrote a book called Barbed Wire Souls. And the purpose of it, he has an organization called Wired Souls. And it's for kids and teaching them to use stories to tell their stories. And his book is about the conversations that he had with his grandfather to help him become the man that he is. And like you, he saw a man kill a child. He saw someone killed when he was 7, right at his feet. And his mother sent him from Philadelphia to Arkansas to live with his grandfather, and that's who raised him and told him stories to help him make better choices. Wow. So the book is about creating dialogue and be able to vernacular that you can speak to law enforcement. That your whole goal is to get home. So I want to make that introduction to you guys. He's getting ready to do a big tour as well. He's a motivational speaker as well. Okay. His name is Greg Winston. Pretty awesome speaker as well. And I think you guys would really, because he's looking to get out there and use his book, and he has action items that are in the book that kids to sit down and really think about what they're doing. So I think you guys would be a fantastic synergy to really do. And he's from Arkansas, but also I think he's somewhere else in the South. So there would be some Kenyanship from the Southern flavor. But
can I ask Life if he would finish with a poem?
Right,
David?
That's how you end it. There's no other way to end this. There's no other way to do
I'm not saying we're ready to end. I'm not saying we're ready to end, but before you end, you got to let this man say something. Give us one of his
poems. We can. Go ahead and do your do.
So are you ready now?
Whenever she says.
Let's do it. Since we've been in LA, I realized from the East Coast perspective of things, when you hear LA and the schools that we were in, you're thinking you're going to walk into something that's totally insane, right? And when I get there and I realize, and I do intense therapeutic foster care for the last 13 years, all kids are the same kids. I didn't meet any monsters, and it wasn't lions and tigers and bears. It's just realizing, we went to the first school to remain nameless, there's a system that's in play.
Yeah, there is.
That a lot of people miss. There's a system that's in play, and what we're seeing is propaganda says, oh, this is great, till we sit down and ask questions and take a proper gander, a real good look at what's going on. So back in the day, there was this show, I don't know if y'all familiar, it was called Good Times. You remember Good Times?
Yes, I remember Good Times.
At first, I thought this was the greatest show in the world. I'm like, yo, this is great. James Evans, the best father in the world. Well, he's the only father I really saw. So I'm thinking, and then when you look at it with a propaganda, you can get by the propaganda. He was abusive. His family was scared of him. He was never going to get out of the job. They had to kill him off in the show because he's saying, I'm never going to get out of the job. There was a system in place that was setting our minds up. So I wrote this poem off of listening to the show. Let's just start at the middle part. Keeping your head above water, making a way if we can. Temporary layoffs.
Good time.
Easy credit rip-offs.
Good times.
Scratching and surviving.
Good
I know a crackhead when I see one. Standing in the child line. Good times. Ain't we lucky we got him? Boom, 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 boom.
Good times. Yeah. Sorry.
I said, wait a minute. Wait a minute, as I stare at the J.J. Evans picture, I'm trying to figure out where exactly this good time is. You see, we live in a time where bad things are happening so rapid that it's became the new norm, and them activists who used to be active have become lukewarm and ain't getting hot on nothing unless it's something they can get their publicity stunt on. See, where we come from, we become so content with the humdrum of the slums that while the rest of the folks are reaching for a loaf, we'll give up and accept the little bread that they give us, and once it's divvied up amongst the bills, we strive to survive here off the crumbs, then find time to antagonize our sons about their pants sagging off their behinds. Like that's a bigger issue than the fact that our sons are lagging behind in education, or the fact that the archaic school system lacks imagination and attention for politicians, so it's deficit in the resources. But the recourse is convince your kids they're the ones with attention deficit disorder, over-medicate them till they're sedated, then tell them no child left behind is the same thing as your child moving forward. But when you fast forward a movie, you miss important parts of the presentation. Like how standardized state test scores, no child left behind, in a privatized prison system have a direct correlation to slavery, but they pray that we never get it. They said slavery's been over. That's just an excuse. We gave y'all the 13th Amendment, but the 13th Amendment was never intended to end slavery, just switch up the mission. But word to LeVar Burton, you ain't got to take my word for it. Allow me to read y'all the 13th Amendment. Listen, it said neither slavery nor indentured servitude, except as a punishment for a crime, whereas a party shall have been duly convicted, shall exist in the United States in any place subject to its jurisdiction. So when you say it fast like that, you ain't got time to get it. But if you slowed it down and truly listen, I guarantee you would hear something different. So let me slow it down so everybody can get it. Listen. It said neither slavery nor indentured servitude, comma, except as a punishment for a crime, whereas a party shall have been duly convicted, comma, shall exist in the United States in any place subject to its jurisdiction. See, when you put the word accept into a sentence, that means you ain't tried to end slavery. You just said it was cool under this condition. Then you use third grade test scores to determine how many prisoners you put in the community. Then you're trying to fool me that we ain't being left behind because if you fail, you can pass the class, but you will fail in the test of time because you don't get the proper life skills to hold down a 9 to 5. So you go back, get a loud pack from your man, get on your grind till you get caught. Then they give you all this time in court. Bend you over, spread your butt cheeks, show your teeth, and cough. Then they throw you in the cell block, your David Sharons. Sound like 12 years a slave to me, How they gonna say minimum wage is $7.35 an hour and justify giving a man 35 cents a day, and they say it's because you state prop? Boy, you sound like livestock. How you gonna be property of the state when the prison system's owned by a private citizen, which means one man is owned by another man? The only time I've known that to happen is if one man's a slave. Wait. Let me stop speaking truth to power before I side with some of these fast food dudes' stomach with the soul food. Can't feed the baby steak, might make you regurgitate vomit, throw your hands up like you don't want it. So let's get back to the nonsense that's going to keep everybody in bondage. Listen, you don't need knowledge nor spirituality. As long as you got a smartphone, a pair of True Religion jeans, fresh pair of J's, you know how to get by to get over. Man, we should just hide and watch the time fly as long as they keep providing us with this canned goods and cola.
Wow, and I think we have a caller. Do we still have a caller? Wow.
Unbelievable.
So, caller.
Unbelievable.
Hello. Are you there? Did they hang up?
I ran them off.
Okay.
My apologies.
Wow, that's all right. But, oh, my God. But is that ever so true? Oh, my goodness. That needs to be that's the rap song we should be hearing. Okay. Right. Because that's to wake people up.
Yes, ma'am.
And I'm all about us being woke. We're getting there.
Yes, ma'am.
We're getting there because so much stuff is coming at us. And I am not a fan of the man in the White House, but I will say this about the man in the White House. He has forced us to open our eyes.
Yes.
And hopefully he is forcing us to come together to do for ourselves and stop asking for handouts from other people.
Yeah.
And with you guys out here doing what you do, you keep doing what you do. And I'll do what I do, and my other guests will do what she does, but we have to be at a place where we're speaking the truth. We can't sugarcoat it anymore. I think that has been the biggest issue that we've had in our community, is that we don't want to upset anybody's sensibilities. But there are people out there who seem to get upset over everything.
Yes, ma'am.
And it has nothing to do with us. And then we get all caught up in it. I mean, we get caught up in the distraction and lose sight of what we have to do for ourselves. Right. So I commend you. Yes. I commend you and all of you here for doing what you do. Yes, and I'm glad that I'm not the only one out there. Sometimes I feel like I'm a lone ranger, dragging the folks down to the water to drink, and they just won't drink.
Right. Now you met someone who's doing exactly what you're doing.
Yeah, yes. I love it. I love it.
Hopefully he can be a part of this Young Entrepreneur Youth Day.
Yes, I would love to. So I don't know if you guys are back in town, but our camp is June 13th to the 29th. So in that, we bring people like you to sit down and talk to our kids, mentor our kids. They're building a business plan, and at the end of the business plan, after they the feasibility of it and understanding the entrepreneurial mindset and what business is all about. And we take them to a financial park in Glendale. So it's a junior achievement program so they can understand financial literacy. Then we have mentors come in and help them build their business, right? Their business plan. And then at the end of that, they get up before the class. All throughout the class is their activity. The curriculum is absolutely phenomenal because it's giving you the academics, the lecture piece, and then they go right behind it and we do the activity. So if I'm talking about marketing, then they have to come up with a widget. They have to create the widget, tell us the benefits of it and why they have it, what pain they're solving and all that. And then they have to get up before the class and talk to it from day one. And then at the end of the 3, now this is a 9-month program that's in schools, and we condense it down to an intensive 3-week program. Oh, wow. It used to be 10 days. Last year it was 10 days. We gave them an extra week for financials. And then they pitch before judges, and then the top 3, then they pitch, and there's a monetary of $750, $500, and $350. We pay the kids $200 to be part of the program. Then they do a fast pitch, and they make money, $100, whoever wins that. Then they have a sale day where we invest $25 in there going to buy a product, and then they come back and market it, and they create the marketing promotion, invite all their friends and family, and if they sell over $25, then they make the profit from that.
Wow, great.
And this is a value of a $1,500 program for free for 25 kids. So
and the kids are from 8 to...
The kids are from 12 to 18, although we have some 9 and 10-year-olds, and always 9. In fact, last year our kids that won were 10.
I have a similar program in North Carolina called the Yale Young Entrepreneur Learning Lab, where we teach them to create shirts from scratch. All the fundamentals of entrepreneurship, they market themselves. Whatever money they make is theirs to do with what they want. And then we do the financial aspect, 50, 30, 20, and teach them financial literacy as well.
Yeah.
So
Fantastic. Yeah, and so what we need to do is create entrepreneurial schools so that the kids can go there like a Marcus Garvey school.
We're working.
All right, because that's what needs to happen.
Sure.
That's the dream.
That's what needs to happen.
Yes.
Where that's our trade school, right?
Yes, indeed.
Teaching you how to become an entrepreneur and then creating a business that can send you to college.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, it's been wonderful, and I know you got a plane to catch, but when you guys get back to town, definitely reach out to us.
Thanks
and I'm going to get your information from Dawn and introduce you and make the digital introduction to Greg.
Please.
I think you guys can do some powerful things together. You guys are already doing some powerful stuff, but together.
But I need both of you back here on a Thursday.
We're gonna make it happen. We're gonna make it happen.
as soon as y'all say go.
All right. Thank you for that incredible poem. Wow.
Thank you, man.
And there's you guys have already did your own video, but this is a clip.
Well, let me say something to the gentleman who brought you guys here. What's his name?
Ray.
Thank you so much for Ray. What you doing?
Yeah.
And Ray, we're going to have you come as well and be on the show
Absolutely.
and talk about your program.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, guys. We appreciate you coming out.
And
It's
we'll be
been
back.
quite an enlightening experience. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay.
Have a good one.
All right. We're going to go to commercial break, and we'll be back for the Business Zone with Crystal and Dawn.
And Dawn. Yes. He finally got it right.
We'll see you in a minute.
Hello, meet Larry. Larry is a general contractor. Larry is very good at his craft, but Larry has a very tough time managing his paperwork because he is busy taking care of his clients' needs. Larry just cannot find his important business documents when needed. Larry is also being passed over for bid opportunities from prime contractors because he is perceived as not ready. He doesn't know where his business license, certifications, insurance, and other key corporate documents are located most of the time. Lucy owns an auto body and collision repair shop and has been using a business management and procurement assistance program called Small Biz Pro to keep her business organized, business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. Small Biz Pro is a 3-in-1 cloud-based business management, procurement, and market research assistance system designed to help businesses become business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. It also provides back-office operation solutions for small businesses. Lucy is able to stay ahead of her competitors because she uses Small Biz Pro to manage her business daily. Lucy just clicks on Small Biz Pro from her tablet, mobile phone, laptop, or any internet-accessible device for data retrieval, and she's got it. Lucy introduces Larry to Small Biz Pro, and now Larry is more organized and can now find all of his documents and new bid opportunities in seconds. Larry now saves $120 in labor costs for each missing or misplaced document. Just simply go to your web browser and log into smallbizpro.net and register today for a limited 30-day free trial offer. Services start as low as $1 per day. Let's put the competition out of business. Small Biz Pro. If you stay ready, you don't need to get ready. Register now at smallbizpro.net and begin saving money. Email info@smallbizpro.net or call 626-533-1186.
Each year, the state of California contracts for billions of dollars of goods and services. We as a state can and should leverage our spending power to achieve policy goals that help the people of California. One major policy goal we have is to create jobs and grow our state economy. Promoting the development of small businesses within California is a great way for us to do that, because California small businesses are the engine of economic growth. 95% of companies in California are small businesses, and with the right opportunities, these small businesses can grow to become the next Apple, Netflix, or Tesla. So let's all do our part to promote small business development and grow our state economy. Together, we can really make.
Hello, meet Larry. Larry is a general contractor. Larry is very good at his craft, but Larry has a very tough time managing his paperwork because he is busy taking care of his clients' needs. Larry just cannot find his important business documents when needed. Larry is also being passed over for bid opportunities from prime contractors because he is perceived as not ready. He doesn't know where his business license, certifications, insurance, and other key corporate documents are located most of the time. Lucy owns an auto body and collision repair shop and has been using a business management and procurement assistance program called Small Biz Pro to keep her business organized, business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. Small Biz Pro is a 3-in-1 cloud-based business management, procurement, and market research assistance system designed to help businesses become business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. It also provides back-office operation solutions for small businesses. Lucy is able to stay ahead of her competitors because she uses Small Biz Pro to manage her business daily. Lucy just clicks on Small Biz Pro from her tablet, mobile phone, laptop, or any internet-accessible device for data retrieval, and she's got it. Lucy introduces Larry to Small Biz Pro, and now Larry is more organized and can now find all of his documents and new bid opportunities in seconds. Larry now saves $120 in labor costs for each missing or misplaced document. Just simply go to your web browser and log into smallbizpro.net and register today for a limited 30-day free trial offer. Services start as low as $1 per day. Let's put the competition out of business. Small Biz Pro. If you stay ready, you don't need to get ready. Register now at smallbizpro.net and begin saving money. Email info@smallbizpro.net or call 626-533-1186.
Each year, the state of California contracts for billions of dollars of goods and services. We as a state can and should leverage our spending power to achieve policy goals that help the people of California. One major policy goal we have is to create jobs and grow our state economy. Promoting the development of small businesses within California is a great way for us to do that, because California small businesses are the engine of economic growth. 95% of companies in California are small businesses, and with the right opportunities, these small businesses can grow to become the next Apple, Netflix.
And we are back. It was just so much energy. Don, you usually a bundle of energy, but it was like Dawn.
Exciting, what?
Multiplied by 10
yes.
to the 10th power. That was awesome. Speaking the subject that is most dear to my heart is our kids and creating new businesses and new business owners. And those guys are just awesome. So now we're going to be razzled and dazzled by someone that's been in our community that's really all about business, all about us doing great business with programs and services, from the entrepreneur to the veteran and they have money for people, and they've been working with a program for the Business Interruption Fund for the Crenshaw District. So they have been doing some amazing things. So welcome, Miss. Welcome so much. And so let me tell you a little bit about Constance Anderson. Okay. And she is an experienced community economic development banking executive who has worked successfully in the Southern California market for most of her career, currently at Pacific Coast Regional Center, PCR, to those of us that live in Los Angeles, director of the Small Business Development Center. PCR Small Business Development Center provides workshops, extensive one-on-one consulting engagements, and other resources to the business community. The SBDC receives its funding from various grants, public and private partners. As a result, its advisory services are provided at no cost to the small business owners and entrepreneur. She has been with PCR since 2002 and has been instrumental in developing the Entrepreneurial Training Institute educational programs, as well as managing development and communication activities for the company. She became the director in 2007 when PCR was designated as a small business development center by the U.S. Small Business Administration. Welcome. Welcome. Now, I know you from Fame.
Right.
When we both were members of First AME Church.
Okay.
Exactly.
And we've been moving in the same circles in the community for a long time, even prior to my becoming the director, co-director of Recycling Black Dollars, but in the same space. I've actually attended to several classes in my early days. When I first started as an entrepreneur, in fact, I went to a expo. I want to say it was probably Barbara Lindsay's expo. And there was a booth with Pacific Coast Regional Center. And so my business partners and I went to a class there. And then, we did some other classes, and I actually did a certificate program at SC, and then I launched the business. In fact, my very first business was a matchmaking service.
Really?
Uh-huh. So I'm thinking might need to bring it back. Huh?
Just for a few months.
But and then out there doing an event. One day I found I was teaching. So, but you guys do some amazing programs over there. So tell us about them and you.
Okay, we'll start with me.
Yes, let's start with you.
So, Crystal, thank you very much for that introduction. Pacific Coast Regional, I said I was going to start with me, but I think I'm going to start with the more important part.
Okay.
And that's all the things that we do at Pacific Coast Regional. First of all, Pacific Coast Regional is a 40-year-old organization.
Really?
PCR started as a result of the business owner not having access to capital. As a result of that, the then governor, state officials decided, let's design a state of California loan guarantee program. Through that loan guarantee program, we were able to do things like work with financial institutions in trying to support small business by making sure we had loan programs that would favor clients that didn't necessarily fit into the traditional bank box. So with that, it made funding a little bit more easier for a business owner that had not been in business long enough to actually qualify for what would be traditional lending. And then we started the Entrepreneurial Training Institute. And the Training Institute is about 25 years old. Okay, that was all before I got there.
Okay.
As a result of me coming on board, my first set of responsibilities included running the Entrepreneurial Training Institute, doing marketing, media development, and grant writing.
Okay.
So I'm a grant writer as well. In 2007, we were approached by the United States Small Business Administration to become a designated small business development center, and therefore I became the director of that program. Now, that's a program in which I sometimes think of as sort of a well-kept secret as well. Mm-hmm. There are approximately 1,200 small business development centers throughout the country, and I basically operate as a director of 2 locations. Mm-hmm. And our first location is in Koreatown at 3255 Wilshire Boulevard. The second location has only been operating for about a year, and we're located in Compton. Mm-hmm. Compton has become very dear to me. We just celebrated our year anniversary of operating a satellite in Compton because I went to Compton High School. Oh, okay. So that to me said, okay, this is an opportunity for me to give back to a community. Right. Mm-hmm. We operate the center along with other partners that are doing different things in the community. So most of you already know Neighborhood Housing Services of LA County. Lori Gay is the president. She saw a building. She had a vision. She said, we need to do something with this and bring services to the community. And in doing that, we were able to bring this Small Business Development Center services into the community as well. What we do in the SBDC program is make sure that anyone that is aspiring, thinking, growing, expanding, needing to do anything in the small business world, they are able to do that, most of the time, absolutely free. Mm-hmm. So we have, or I'm required to employ a number of skill sets. Mm-hmm. And I think right now I have a team of about 20 people. Mm-hmm. And their goal is to make sure that anyone that reaches out to us has access to the services that we have. And we have one-on-one counseling, and of course we have the training program, and we have about 12 different topics that we cover in the training program, such as QuickBooks, developing a business plan, or the guided business plan class. We have social media and marketing class. We have, I think, or I'd like to think, that we have everything that would help you to take your business to the next level. Mm-hmm. We work with entrepreneurs, or we work with individuals that are just thinking about starting a business. And I seem to like that a lot more than the established business, because then I don't have an opportunity to fix the things that they're doing wrong. Mm-hmm. Right. Mm-hmm. So I want to appeal to our audience to think about, if you have an idea or a goal of starting a business, we're a good place to start. Mm-hmm. One of the goals that I have is to start a number of businesses. Mm-hmm. Now, I also have an access to capital goal, which says that I need to help my clients to get access to about $25 million a year. Mm. Most years, we meet or exceed that goal. Mm. So what that should say to our audience is there's lots of money out there, but you do need to be prepared to get it.
Mm-hmm. So what is the preparation to get that $25 million?
The preparation begins with developing a business plan. Mm-hmm. And I know that there are people out there saying, I don't have time, I don't want to write a business plan. It's not that complicated. Mm-hmm. It's your vision. It's your dream. Let us just put that dream on paper. Mm-hmm. And then while we're putting it on paper, we're also helping you to create something that's going to generate revenue, which is going to employ people, which is going to expand throughout the community. Right. Mm-hmm. So those services, actually, every time we open a business or start a business and we're able to create something that generates revenue, we're also able to create jobs. Mm-hmm. And then we have that great economic impact that comes with creating jobs. Now, that, to our audience, should not mean that you have to hire a lot of people to run a business, because you don't. Right. You can run your business from home. Mm-hmm. I can help you with that. Mm-hmm. You can run your business and decide that, hey, I've grown so much, I've got to hire people. We can help you with the hiring phase as well.
So, we are all been doing this for a long time. Mm-hmm. And what would you say, because you guys, PCR, have been doing it for much longer than the rest of us out here, is some of the challenges, because you would think with all these, like I said earlier, with all these amazing services that's in our community, we should really not have a deficit with small businesses, right? Because you're free, the Urban League does free, Vermont Slauson does free. What is it that we need to do in order to bring in more businesses so that we can help build a strong, solid foundation and then be able to take that business to that next level. Because a lot of times the foundations are so shaky that they can't get to the next level.
Right.
Well, I think people are maybe afraid, or they think that there's just too much work involved in getting it done. And so unfortunately, it doesn't kill the dream, but what it does is it causes them to start something that they didn't start with the proper education or knowledge, and now it becomes a problem.
Because doesn't that take you back to writing the business plan? Because the business plan gives you a solid foundation.
Absolutely.
And most of us are afraid. We're afraid to write the business plan because we think it's a lot of work, or then we find out that we don't really have a business.
Yeah.
That we ain't been doing anything for years. You've been in business for about 20 years already, and you try to go get a loan or something that's still telling you where's your business plan, right? It's the first thing that you need. You're like, I've been in business for so long, what about my taxes and all that? But when you have a business plan, it's you get clear on your vision.
Absolutely.
And Habakkuk 2:2 says, write the vision and make it plain. That's a biblical scripture.
They do have a hard time with that one. It's just to put it down, take it out of here.
Right. But that's what creates a foundation.
It is creating a foundation, but I also like to think that what I like to share with your audience, with the people that I'm working with, is that they're not in it alone.
Right.
They've got a lot of support mechanisms out there. I happen to think that ours is the best.
Yes.
But at the same time, you have someone that's basically working with you, hand-holding the whole process. So we can help you to put your dream on paper. And if you've been in business for 20 years and you've never done a business plan, and it's a relatively revenue-generating business and you're making money, I still need to understand how you're making that money. So I still need a business plan. I need to see revenue generation. I need to see projected revenue. I need to understand what you're going to do with those funds that you're looking for, that I'm trying to help you to get.
When I started doing my business plan, it actually helped me reinvent some of the stuff I was doing. And every now and then in business, you end up having to reinvent yourself because things change. So when I started doing that business plan, I got clear on the vision that I wanted to create for myself, and it changed everything I was doing. I'm still not finished though.
But and the other thing it also does for you is that when things that are externally happening in the world that can disrupt your business, right? And we're in a very disruptive type of era of business. Right. So we remember the Blockbusters, the video stores, and they weren't ready for the Netflix and the Hulu, right? They weren't ready. And another one is the cable company, because now you don't have to have cable. You can do all your TV watching, and even televisions make it simple for you to be smart TVs. Yep. So there's a lot of businesses that have been disrupted and put out of business.
Right.
Poor planning.
Right, poor planning, and or they may have had a business plan and didn't ever go back to revisit, or they didn't go back to look at the risk and what could potentially happen if this X, Y, and Z took place.
Yeah, and like you, I think one of you said earlier, they weren't ready for what's coming. So now I'm doing my business plan now. The young man who's helping me, but I'm going to start working with you. He's helping me, right? Because he's just a friend of mine helping me. So we're looking at what's going to be happening in the next 5 years based on what happened in the last 5. And I wasn't thinking about that. So when you build your website, you build it a little bit differently. You're like the first website I built, I didn't build it for a back office. I didn't build it for what do you call that? E-commerce.
Right.
So everything's differently.
Right. Now
with this business plan, I'm thinking differently. It's helping me to create a stronger foundation.
And a great prototype for you is the guy that created Zumba. Right? So when he created that, he was so forward thinking that one is his, everything about it is his,
right.
So you can't even have access to it
step
unless you become licensed, right? And that's where the money comes in, is he's licensed all of the ones that are out there doing it. And then he has I read an article about him. He has a team of lawyers that scour the internet to make sure that none of his proprietary information ever appears there without his permission. Right. The clothing, the everything.
But he allows so much freedom, though.
Yeah.
He's amazing. He allows so much freedom. And the reason why he can is because he has all those things in place. He allows us to use the logo. We just got little small guidelines. But he thought of everything.
Right.
He completely thought it. Said when he was figuring out the first 3 steps to what was going to be the Zumba workout, he was already thinking about the different cities he wanted to go in. And
right.
how he was going to license teachers and all that. Yeah,
and all over the world. And I guess that's where we need to be is teaching our businesses how not just to be looking for your clients next door.
Right.
Your client needs to be out there in the cyberspace because you can now sell e-commerce and really do some amazing things. Probably sell more e-commerce than you do in person.
Yeah.
And you'll generate different revenue.
Right.
Because, number one, e-commerce is a lot less expensive as having brick and mortar. So you're able to sell your products online if you're prepared to do that, if you've got the website. We actually have someone that actually looks at the websites, can tell you where your hits are coming from, how many times they're looking at it. So we can help you to tweak the website so that, you're getting the exposure that you need to get in order to continue generating revenue. Because we're all about revenue, right?
All about revenue. And then also teaching our businesses to leverage up. So if you in t-shirts, then what about distribution? What about manufacturing? And in your case, you're building a catalog of exercise equipment that you don't have to be everywhere, right? You don't have to be. You can still be a private trainer, but right there in their living room.
Yes.
And there's so many fitness trainers that have just made mega dollars doing that. That's how I started exercising.
There are people who are not even trainers that's making money in this business.
Yeah.
And one girl said she stopped doing makeup. Now she's doing fitness. Ain't licensed, making she was this high profile makeup artist doing eyebrows and everything. No longer doing makeup because she was able to do fitness and she turned all those followers into her fitness followers now, making more money than me.
Yeah,
beat me in my own game.
and that's another reason for the business plan is to know who your competition is and know how to stay on top of the competition.
It's all right, though. I'm coming after her. With your help.
So what do we today? We're looking today. What do we look? What does they say by the time we get to train? What do you think our business community should look like if we had?
Oh, my. I drove down Crenshaw the other day, and I immediately started to think about the number of doors that I saw that had paper in the windows, which means the businesses have vacated that space. Now, I can talk about Metro, Business Interruption Fund, but I want to just stick to the business side of what PCR is about right now, and that is for people that are thinking about starting businesses, I would like to think that Crenshaw should be a driver for people wanting to start a business that's retail or service oriented because of what's going to happen on Crenshaw once the rail line is completely done. We're seeing a lot of people move in and so forth. And I just like to see, I hope I can say this, more people move into the community that looks like me.
I think so too.
And I'm hoping I'm not offending anyone out there, but the bottom line is I work with everyone. And I'm not going to not work with anyone that doesn't necessarily look like me. But the Crenshaw area has predominantly been an African American community. And so I feel bad that there's so many African American businesses that have had to leave the community. And so if we talk about the Business Interruption Fund, my hat's off to Metro for making those funds available. And basically, for those of you that are listening that may not have heard about the Business Interruption Fund, it is a program that is supported by the Metropolitan Transportation Authority, in that they made $10 million available to businesses that were being negatively or revenue impacted by the rail line, the closures of driveways and streets and so forth and so on. And in order to benefit $50,000 maximum each time there's an interruption, and in order to actually access those funds, we needed to be able to verify what the revenue stream was previously. So as long as we can prove the loss of revenue up to $50,000, then you are in line for a $50,000 grant. that's just money waiting for someone to just.
And I think the saddest part, I was part of the streetwalkers to go up and down to the businesses to find out, where they were before they even start breaking ground. And it was kind of sad that, and I, in hindsight, we probably should have been out there like 5 years ago.
Absolutely.
Because in hindsight, what I saw was they didn't have websites. They had no way of contacting their clients or customers. They also didn't know how to pivot. There was one business that I actually consulted with, and he had a medical supply store, and it was fully stocked, and but no website. And I said to him when I first went, and no records of any monies or any products that he had sold. He had not kept anything. He had no POS system. His wife had a little dress shop next to his. She at least had a yellow pad ledger with her numbers, and so we could create a P&L from that. Because every time she did and sold and inventory and all that, she kept track, but he didn't. And it was sad because less than a year later, there was Kaiser. And he could have been selling to Kaiser.
Absolutely.
Wow.
And any of the other medical professionals that were doctors that are in the community and that should be coming. And he was like, well, they won't be able to get to me. Well, you know what? That's not your problem, because they could have ordered from you online.
Right.
That's UPS's problem, how they're going to pick up your packages.
And they'll figure it out.
And they will figure it out. So that wasn't your problem. But it was too late. It was nothing we could do. Wow. So he ended up closing his doors, and I guess he liquidated all of his product. And that like hurt.
It's sad.
That is like, wow, that hurts. And then so many of the others that were up and down Crenshaw. And I think we lost some 300 and something business from what I heard. But in hindsight, but again, we sometimes don't think of what the future disruptors are going to be, and we could have actually been out with all our organizations. We could have saved that. And now the ones that we need to start to look at is protecting is the Lamert, because there's still those over there, but they need to know how to do businesses.
Right.
They need to know. Yeah. So we need either bring them to you, come to them, whatever we need to do. And they're new businesses that You roll. Yeah, so there you go. Have business education and development will roll through the community to help you. Exactly. But you guys got to reach out to us and be receptive to what we're giving you the strategy. Right. So there's some new businesses that are popping up in Lamert. And so we need to reach out to them. I actually go and knock on doors. Right. And so that we can get them the services they need now. If they're going to be growing and position them so that they can come get working capital.
Absolutely.
The certification, I know you guys do the minority to me, that is a game changer.
It is.
I want to talk about certification.
Yes, please do.
You don't mind? Okay. So last year, we were contacted by the County of Los Angeles. And between the County of Los Angeles and Citibank, CITI Bank, we were able to put together a program that was designed specifically to help small businesses, which is 500 or less employees and $5 million or less in revenue to get certified so that they could benefit from the possible contracts with the County of LA. I mean, this is where they're saying, can you help us to reach more people so that they can get certified? Once they're in the pipeline, then they have an opportunity to bid on contracts. Well, we were already helping people to get certified. We do small business enterprise certification, Metropolitan Water District certification, 8A certifications. I think people should look at those certification possibilities as another way of generating revenue. That revenue is not going to stop. It's like once you have a contract for $500,000, they're going to pay you on that contract. And then you can still run the other pieces of your business at the same time. But then you've got this just magnificent amount of money coming in because of this contract. Now, what typically happens with the contracts or the vendor relationship is that most of our small businesses or some of our small businesses don't have the capital to be able to manage the contract. Now, what that means is that I'm buying flags, I'm selling you flags, but I don't have the money to manufacture the flags and so forth. But that's where we come into the picture, okay? So we can help with all the financing. There's very little that we really can't do when it comes to working with a small business. And I'm going to specify small business and entrepreneurs, okay? Now, some people don't think of themselves as an entrepreneur, and some people don't think of themselves as a small business. I see them one and the same.
One and the same.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So what I'm saying to your audience is that if you're a small business, if you consider yourself an entrepreneur, if you're a home-based business, if you're a business that basically you run from your laptop, you can still work with us.
Any kind of business.
Any kind of business. Yes. There's a couple that we're not allowed. This is a federally funded program, so there are a couple that we're not allowed to work with.
Oh, okay.
They're the obvious.
The new industry.
I
The obvious.
Now, is there a class that you teach for the certification, or?
Yes, there are classes. We have a class called Intro to Contracting.
Okay.
And Intro to Earning Contracts. And those are, I believe right now, they're free.
Okay.
Most of our classes, the most expensive class I think that we have is the Guided Business Plan class. And the reason that one is a bit more expensive is because there's a workbook involved. We spend a lot of time trying to produce the materials to make it work.
So on average, how much are the classes?
About 50.
Oh, that's not bad.
And they're anywhere from 3 hours to 6 hours.
And that's similar to the class that you teach, that we offer right here. That's great.
Yeah, and as I said, it's just...
Well, I'm sorry.
There's plenty of... The training is there. There is no excuse for that
Now,
part.
I was on a call a few weeks ago, and they talked about the certification, and the young man who actually makes $80 million, this young black guy who started his company he started his company 8 years ago, and he makes, I think he makes on average about $7 million a year or something like that. He's doing extremely well. He talked about being certified, no class necessary. Tell me how important the classes are. Because a girlfriend that was on the call, got off the call, called in, got her certification. Took about 3 days. She got certified, no class. But tell the audience why you feel that the classes are important. Because
the class is important if you really don't know what to do. You can get certified and still never get a contract.
Never get a contract.
So the idea is the class helps you to understand why Department of General Services is asking you for your cash flow analysis. Why they're asking you where your bank account is, how long you've been in business, what kind of a track record do you have. Because they want to make sure that you can actually do business with them. So the class isn't absolutely necessary. There are people that have never taken a class that got certified, sitting in front of their computer, uploading information, getting certified, and then they just sat there.
And did nothing. That's the point I'm getting to, because the class creates the value for why you should get certified, how, the steps to do it.
Absolutely.
And what do you do with the certificate afterwards?
And a lot of it is networking relationship based. So the value is you have somebody that's been in the space and this is their will base, so they can refer you out and also tell you the steps on meeting the people that are actually producing or giving out the contracts. And the other piece to it is that while you're building yourself up to a place to become certified with your financials and your because you have to have your tax returns, 3 years tax returns, and you have to have business licenses with the city and state that you're working in, and then you have to have financials. That's very, very important. And so while you're working up to that, you can meet some individuals in that space that are ready to go, and then you can become the subcontractors, and you can stay as a subcontractor if you want, or you can let somebody else be the prime and get the bonding and all that sort of stuff. But that's why the classes are so invaluable. And you actually, to be certified doesn't cost you a dime.
But
you just go online.
I don't take no class. I can just get certified. But then you do nothing with it.
I
don't know what to do.
And I hear that a lot. I hear, I got my 8A certification and nothing happened.
Because they didn't.
Well, you didn't do anything.
Right, exactly.
But, a girlfriend of mine is taking an acting class. It's not because she can't act, because they're casting out of that class.
Right.
and there are also other working actors, and the teacher actually the teacher's a producer of a show. So, I get it. I totally get it.
And the most successful people never stop learning. They invest. People invest. I know George Frazier was saying last week when I was at his he was here at a seminar, and he said he invests about $100,000 a year in himself
Wow.
and going to other conferences and meeting other people and bringing and reading books. And so it's a large number of things that he's doing in order to make himself better and to continue on doing what he's doing. Because even the coaches or the trainers got to go get some more training.
Right. Absolutely.
You can't if not, you're using dated, stale, outdated material. And
I stole all the stuff we was doing today from somebody else from my training. At 4.
Right, exactly.
And I came and did the same workout. No, I'm just joking.
But you do that, right? You go to different places and try out their classes. And you're like, oh, I might use that. Or you go hear other speakers and like, oh, I like that little nuance that they're doing.
Constantly learning.
Constantly learning.
But let me ask you this. How do you convince a small business owner that may be having some financial difficulties that they should invest $75 into understanding how to write a business plan?
Right.
Because that's a challenge for us too.
Yeah, that could be a challenge.
And most people think, well, those are our tax dollars. Well, the program, the majority of everything I do is derived from tax dollars because they're federal programs. But at some point, when you start to overspend, you have to find ways of generating revenue. Right. So even though I'm running a program, there are certain things that I have to do so that I can continue to do what I'm doing to help the small businesses out there. So for all the listeners or watchers, if you call our office and you said, I saw you on the Crystal and Dawn show.
Gilbert. Thank you for that.
She was listening.
I felt bad. I had to say Gilbert real loud.
Instead of the $75 fee, which is the cost of the business plan class, we're going to do it for $50 for about 30 days. And that's 30 days from today. And I can't tell you right now the date of the classes, but I can tell you the website. Can I do that?
Yes, you most definitely
can.
The
website for looking for the class is www.Pacific, P, Coast, C, Regional, R, S is in Sam, B is in boy, D is in David, C is in Charles.org. And our telephone number is 213-674-2696. You have an option of taking the class in LA or Compton. The fee will be the same. I hope that we can encourage you to do that.
Can I one more time?
Yeah.
At least your phone number one more time.
213-674-2696.
Thank you.
And when I edit the show, I'll put the phone number in the company. I personally think that, especially with our people, we're a very interesting group of people. And so even though we want free, we don't value free.
No, not at all.
So if you, so I'm a component that there should be a price on something, on some things, because I think when you have some skin in the game, when you've paid for a class, you're going to make all the effort to go there to get, because they're going to be the first one to say, well, you didn't give me everything that you said you were going to give me for my $5. But at least you put your skin in and you're asking me that. So I'd rather hear that than you just not show up, which is a lot of times, because I'm sure you get the same thing. Right. When you have free classes, you get all this registration that could be hundreds of people, and you're just like, oh, look at that, we're going to have hundreds of people. And then when the day comes, nobody shows up.
Because it's free.
We should talk about that too.
Yeah, we should.
RSVPs. Yeah, we should talk about that.
Yeah, because that's real important. And I told that when I was at Dr. Rosie's town hall meeting, and I told people, I said, you know what? It hurts our feelings. It's like having a party, and you all excited about your party. You done laid out this amazing food spread, and you done gone got your hair done, your nails done, your lashes, and then nobody shows up. That hurts our feelings, guys. And we're excited because I put a lot of work in. We do. And I'm sure you do, and you do as well, to preparing and being ready for a class. I mean, there's a lot of time that goes into that part.
Time, money. Time is money, right?
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
And what I try and communicate to some of the clients that we work with is that I'm there for you, but at the same time, there's value in what I'm offering you in the time that I'm spending putting the materials together for you. And so I want you to take advantage of it, but don't just look at the email and say, okay, I'm going to register for this. You can also go back in and unregister. Okay, so it's another step.
Right.
Yeah.
And we're okay with that, aren't
Right.
we?
Yeah, because
Yes,
I'd rather
we're
you
okay
not
with that.
to know that you weren't going to come.
Exactly.
Than to know that you're expecting you to come
Right.
and then you don't
and
come
not
up.
the day of.
Right.
And not the day
Not
of.
the day of, because...
So, yeah.
No, I quite agree
That's
with
sad.
that. I mean,
Because it respectfully frees the space up for someone else, just in case there's a count, and then you allow the person to say, okay, I don't have to create another booklet. It's just common
and
sense.
I actually stopped doing QuickBooks classes for that very reason.
Really?
I would hope, because it was religious, like for 4 years. Every, starting in December, I'd have a 4-week class, and then I'd do January and February, getting you ready so that you could do your taxes. And I did that for about 3.5 years. And and I ended up teaching 2 people. No, you know what? I can come to your office and do this. So that's kind of what I start doing. Now I get a better traction. I actually just physically go to your office and use your computer. We teach you right then and there, and I get a better reception from that.
Yeah, that's good.
And now I'm getting ready to do a class on training the trainer. So because there's the need for having a good bookkeeper that really knows what they're doing, and it's stays up to date with current software programs.
That would be you?
Yeah, that's me. And training other people, because the need is so great. Sometimes I can't, I get calls from Vermont Slauson, I get calls from the Urban League, I get calls from all over the place, and I can't always be everywhere. So I'm going to start training people, and I train a class.
Awesome.
Yeah, I train these are for employees. I do a program with the Los Angeles Office of Education, and it's a cohort with Mount SAC. And I teach bookkeeping. I teach accounting first, accounting basics and fundamentals, and then I teach software, QuickBooks. And I'm doing. I've been doing that. I think this is my 6th cohort. I'm actually doing it right now, and I go out to Pomona and I teach it. And we have about 15 students.
Excellent.
And we've been doing, and we've had a 95% higher rate. And so they're going out, and at least they can come in as entry level. Right now, in this class I have, these people right here have been so amazing that I haven't even been able to keep up. I use practice sets, and so I've used some practice sets that have just been there. I've never used them in all the classes until this one. And I've had 5 people that have, and one young lady, she was so far ahead, I said, okay, let me just train you on Zero, which is a whole nother project. And she took it, and I gave her the practice set, and she ran with it.
Really?
So she will be hired, and we have actually 2 that already have been hired, and the class is not over yet. So
Hired. After they take the class, they get hired, but they already know bookkeeping.
Nope.
No certificate in bookkeeping whatsoever.
No.
You. So I can come.
Yeah. They were raw. They knew nothing. They may have worked. Most of them were clerical.
Trying to give me a job.
Some of them were retail. No.
How long is the class?
This particular program was 12 weeks.
Really?
And I teach them accounts, QuickBooks, and then I do payroll. And I even teach them how to go. Part of the class is to complete their LinkedIn so that they can be job ready.
I need to learn QuickBooks anyway.
Yeah, so that's and so now I'm going to start training the trainer, since I've kind of developed a program with them, which is basically the same thing.
That's awesome.
And then send out an army of people. Because that's the biggest problem, right?
Absolutely.
Right.
You go to ask somebody for their P&L, and they kind of give you like a this.
Oh, it happens all the time.
Yeah.
What's really bad about that is that you're coming to us looking for a loan. Okay? But you can't show me where your revenue is
Why
coming
I should
from.
give you a loan.
And then sometimes there's instances where we will look at what a bookkeeper has provided to that client, and it's really not acceptable.
Really?
So you cannot always just rely on the fact that you paid them $250 and they're going to give you what you need. In my world, I think that if you're a business owner and you've been in business for a few years, you should be able to call your accountant and say, I'm applying for a loan. I need 2 years of this. I need my profit and loss statement. I need my balance sheets, etc. They should be able to email that over to you or to me, and you walk in the door with your tax returns, your P&L, your
Right.
balance sheet. We're
Right.
rocking and rolling.
Right.
Yeah.
But more often than not, that doesn't happen.
That doesn't
believe
happen
it.
at all. And a lot of times they don't know what they've been doing. So
Exactly.
that's why I go into their offices, because I want the owner of the business to sit
know.
down with the staff, and you're learning. I don't expect you to use it, but I do expect you to understand why. So when they hand you a P&L, and I've done some I've worked for some companies where they're very established and have been in business for years, both nonprofit and for-profit, left it totally up to their bookkeepers, had no clue what was going on with their books.
So they basically didn't even know if they were making money.
didn't know.
That's the unfortunate part. That's very unfortunate.
Until a check bounced, they didn't know. And then even at that point, they didn't know what questions to ask.
Right.
So they didn't know what they had. And it happens a lot in religious organizations,
Right.
because they hire, they want to be kind and bring in their members and let them do the books. And they may or may not be skilled at the books. So, but that's something that we really, that game, we need to up that game, because
Right.
it's
We do.
really sad.
We do.
Because, you and I have sat on a panel with the small business, with SBA and Milken Institute, and the numbers were kind of startling when I first heard the number of loans that were provided for black businesses or who applied for it. That was just like mind-blowing to me.
Well, I want to kill a myth.
Okay.
All right. There's a myth out there that says there's no money
Yeah.
out there for me. And that's a lie. There's lots of money, because as long as there's a bank out there, there's money. Banks can't exist if they're not making loans. So the only challenge or obstacle is being prepared to get that loan. But that should not be a challenge for your listeners right now.
It really shouldn't
Not
be a
at all.
challenge.
Right.
And the ones that are, and then the other issue is that once they've been denied, which could have taken place 20 years ago,
Exactly.
they never ever go back out.
Exactly.
It's like they hurt my
It's a
feelings.
new world every day. It's a new world every day.
Right,
Every day. Every day it's a new world.
It's
There's
a
either
new world.
bank, or there's a new loan program, or there's something that will support your business. It is unfortunate. I talked to a gentleman today, and if he's listening, he will hear me say the same thing. He has a great product. Okay, he has absolutely no money. Okay, he has a product that he'd like to make available to sell. Okay, but he doesn't have the money to get it manufactured to sell it. He's looking for $250,000. I don't know that there's a loan program out there that's going to allow me to make a loan or to facilitate him getting a loan for $250,000 when you can't show me where the revenue is going to come from to
Right.
repay the debt.
To repay that.
Right, exactly.
So then we go to the friends, family, and fools, just so that we can get it started.
Right.
And then, once I see that it's working, so I don't want him to lose faith. I guess that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's that there are certain things that we just can't do.
You're right, exactly.
But it doesn't mean I can't support you, and make sure you're getting ready to market it properly, get it on the right shelves.
Oh, wow.
When you're selling it in the retail market, if it's going to Target or Walmart or whomever,
You can
we
do
can
that.
help with all that.
Really?
And if it's a good product and they have a business plan, there could be some investors
absolutely.
and
Well,
personal
that's what we're
investors,
gonna look at.
right?
That's what we're gonna do.
They could utilize. I think one of the areas, and I think Quentin Strode is doing this, an incubator, because that concept that's been very prominent in the tech world. So there's stages, right? So they develop the business to this stage, and then there's a little infusion of cash,
Right.
small, right? And then the next stage, and then there's some infusion. You pay that back,
Right.
and then at the end, now we're seeing that you're committed to your business and you're making progress, and maybe going out and you got a marketing plan, and then by the time with those little infusions of cash, by the time 2 years come along, then they could come to you, and now you can look back. One, you have an organization, a launch pad or an
Right.
accelerator program where you can go, so how were they? How did they do? Was it consistent growth? Was it consistent involvement in the business? Not pick up the business and drop the business because you got to work for somebody else,
Right.
and then come to you and ask for $250,000. Because those disciplines, just like David said, worked straight into the night. I mean,
Yeah.
for my business, I have not slept.
Right.
that's my sweat equity, right?
It's your dream.
Exactly. So I'm sitting here. I've yawned about 12 times. It's not because I'm bored, because this is great. I'm tired because I've been up working, putting in the work.
And that's what happens when you're growing a business.
Because I got to work during the day and get the money, and then
at night you got to create.
Be creative.
So and I have like 4 businesses, 4 things going on all the time, plus regular life. And when regular life jumps, it's like,
we get husbands.
I have no time for you, regular life.
Oh my
God. I have no time for regular life. Just this is what I'm doing, because I'm on a mission, and that's how people should be. And I see that you need to make sure, in addition to the fact that the business is going to grow, that they're going to be there and not drop out of it, and then they're sitting there with a $250,000 loan, and because that's got to be paid back.
That impacts the next person trying to get a loan.
It does.
The other thing that we are sometimes challenged with is credit issues.
Yeah.
Okay. And so I'm going to appeal again to your audience. I have a partner in which they've given me, I think, enough money to support 10 business owners getting a $1,000 secured credit card. So this industry or this organization is going to match $500. Okay, so you have $500 and I have the other $500 to help you to establish a secured credit card at 0 interest for 1 year.
Oh, fantastic!
And 2% for 2 years.
You said you need 10?
I need 10 people.
8, because you got us. You need 8.
But no, that's phenomenal, because that's the other thing. They think if they have bad credit, that's something that is like a ball and chain that they carry, the same ball and chain with them for the rest of their lives. Don't realize that you can build that up. This is not a life sentence.
That's a start. And my hat's off to the organization that came to us and said, Constance, I'd like to start this as a pilot program with you. There are other entities out there now that have access to it as well. But I've had a really hard time getting my clients to even consider doing it.
Why?
Why? I mean, if I could, I would. I'm spending $500 of somebody else's money for free.
Yeah. I think that we could help you get some. We can help you. I can help you get some.
And I want to talk about how to go about doing it.
Okay, so how do we do it?
They have to get at least 1 hour of counseling. I need to know who they are. We'll help them with the application. I'll submit the application to the financial institution that's doing it, and it should be a done deal. But it has to be a business credit card, and I have to be working with them.
Awesome. And I have a business credit card. No, I don't have. I have no credit cards whatsoever.
So you have no credit.
No, I have a car.
Well, your car.
Yeah, that's the only credit I have. I still have no credit. People say you got no credit, so I need to build my credit up.
Right, for especially your business credit.
I've prided myself on never having a credit card ever in life.
Yeah, but for business,
that's a good thing and a bad thing.
I'm glad I didn't, but it doesn't help me for business.
Yeah, because sometimes you do need it, and you need it in order to establish that credit, because that's the only way you can pay cash, but the only way they can see if you're going to be a responsible recipient of your, because you do need working capital, right? Every business, no matter what level you are, you need working capital to know that you have, if payroll comes up, you do have this little fund over here that you can tap into in order, because you got, you're in between contracts.
Yes.
That happens a lot with contracts, that the money doesn't come in. It comes in, 30, 90, 60, 120 days.
Right.
But you still are operating in that time frame. So, so that does help.
That's exciting.
So again, it's been so wonderful.
Great.
So you see, you did your own little thing, even though we had the energy people beforehand. You did awesome.
Thank you for having me.
And when we edit it, then I'll send it over to you. You can put it up on your website.
Oh, cool.
And then we'll mark it. Yeah, we'll tag us, and then I'll market it on our sites, and she'll do it on there, so people will hear what you have to say.
Excellent.
And if you give me the information, I'll make sure in the description box on how to reach PCR, and as well as if someone's interested in any of the programs that you have, I can put some links so that way.
We really appreciate it. It's like anything: use it or lose it.
Yes.
So these are opportunities to the audience. These are opportunities that we're presenting. Take advantage of them.
Oh, for sure. So before we because we started a little late, but before we go, again, I want to remind everybody, We have our children for the Biz Camp. We don't need any more children. We have 62 children. But I do need mentors and speakers to come out and volunteer some of your wonderful time to share all of your skills with our kids so that they can see people that look like them are doing some amazing. You're in? So I'm going to send a link over to you. So if you're interested, reach out to me at 323-906-7004. And also you can go call the Urban League and ask for Bonnie Jeter, and her phone number is 323-299-9660 at extension 2212. That's Bonnie Thomas Jeter. Or you can reach out to her at bonniethomas-jeter at laul.org and let her know that you want to volunteer. Coming up in 2 weeks, Recycling Black Dollars, we're having our monthly second Tuesday of the month networking breakfast, saluting dads and grads. It's June 12th. Tuesday from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. at Denny's Restaurant on Coliseum and Crenshaw. Our special guests, our guest speakers are Peter Jackson from City National Bank and Michael Jones of Success Management. So you want to come on out and join us to network and recycle our black dollars. Awesome. We want to thank you for coming out and enjoying, and we just enjoyed you.
Thank you. I've enjoyed it too.
Yeah. So it's not as bad as you thought, huh?
No, not at all. Not at all.
It's like sitting in the living room talking about business stuff. So we're Don.
Yeah, you can join Crystal and I this coming Friday on the 8th of next week. We'll be doing some Zumba, one of our favorite exercises. We're going to do Zumba fitness. Come have some fun with us. The address is 3669 54th Street, right off of Crenshaw.
And they should tune into you on your...
Every Monday, this coming Monday, Build the Body You Want. We're talking, it's Men's Wellness Month. Oh. So we're talking to our men about being in the best shape of their life and why it's important for them to go to the doctor. We're talking about men's wellness. We're talking about men in fashion.
Okay.
Yes, we're talking about hot bodies.
And Dawn is an amazing trainer. I'm in my training class every morning. She's so energetic.
And guess what? She's going to be in the training class forever.
Yeah, right. Yay! So, yay! So we will see you next week. Gilbert will be in the studio next week.
Yes.
And then Dawn will be back on the 14th because Gilbert will be back out of the studio. And so we have a fantastic weekend and week, and we will see you next Friday. This is Crystal from the Business Zone, and we are out.
As a small biz pro, I saw we roll, using procurement, program, and control. As a small biz pro, I saw we grow, using procurement, program, and control. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur.